Amidst the buzz of Riyadh season in Las Vegas, Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda's potential matchup could be the fight that defines their careers. While on the sidelines of Riyadh season in Las Vegas, Turki Al-Sheikh asked Shakur Stevenson at the Riyadh season if he was interested in fighting William Zepeda. Shakur confidently said that he was ready to match up against Zepeda.
He's very good friends with Jared Anderson.
You know what we are? I said to explain,
Jared? I'm ready to talk.
I need to know now.
We'll talk later.
Furthermore, former professional boxer Chris Algieri talks about the surprising shift in potential fights from Gervonta Davis to William Zepeda.
Well, the news minute in boxing really is a minute because, as you said, we were talking about Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson as of yesterday. But, I mean, this is a fight that I thought was a great idea.
Moreover, Chris Algieri acknowledges his typical skepticism about verbal agreements in boxing, but is optimistic that the fight between Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda will take place. He explains that Zepeda, who has been climbing the ranks, needs a high-profile fight to prove his abilities against top competition. He notes, Zepeda has been climbing the ladder and is looking for a big-name opponent to show he can do what he's been doing against the very elite of the weight class. Additionally, Algieri also points out that Stevenson, despite being an elite fighter, has faced challenges in securing fights with other top contenders. He needs a credible opponent to demonstrate his skills. Algieri believes that the mutual need for this fight makes it likely to happen. He added, both of these guys really need each other in a lot of ways, and that's why I think even though it's a verbal agreement, I'm confident this fight happens. There really isn't that much politics. Algieri is also reassured by the involvement of Turki Al-Sheikh and the supportive environment in Riyadh, which are known for facilitating major boxing events. Adding to the debate, professional boxer Paulie Malignaggi reflects on the shift from a potential fight with Gervonta Davis to William Zepeda. He initially saw Davis as a likely opponent for Stevenson, but finds Zepeda a good choice for showcasing Stevenson's skills.
As opposed to a Gervonta Davis, what does William Zepeda bring for the casual fan that maybe Shakur Stevenson has to get ready for now?
Well, I think it's the kind of opponent that each guy needs, really. You know, I usually would be skeptical of just a verbal agreement. I usually would be skeptical that's a rumor. But when you look at the fine print here, so to speak.
In addition, Malignaggi praised Zepeda for his exciting and aggressive fighting style. He believes that Zepeda will bring out the best in Stevenson, making the fight more engaging and dynamic. Algieri says Zepeda's aggressive style will push Stevenson and make the fight more entertaining, which Shakur Stevenson really needs at this point of his career. You know, for some performances that people have been complaining about in terms of their entertainment value. Malignaggi acknowledges that the agreement is only verbal at this stage, which means there could be obstacles before the fight is finalized. However, he supports the matchup because it aligns well with Stevenson's career goals and will allow him to prove himself against a challenging opponent. Algieri is confident that a strong performance by Stevenson in this fight could significantly enhance his reputation and strengthen his position within the boxing division. Furthermore, boxing trainer Teddy Atlas emphasizes that Zepeda cannot rely on his usual straightforward pressure and bodywork against a skillful and clever opponent like Stevenson. Zepeda needs to be more sophisticated and unpredictable in his approach.
Not the cold, naked, if you will, way that he's been doing it, where it's just been pressure, body work. Sounds great, looks great, I get it. But against a guy as clever and advanced and skillful as Shakur, ain't gonna get it done. He's got to be.
Teddy Atlas appreciates Zepeda's aggressive style and attitude, but he has concerns about whether Zepeda's usual approach will work against a skilled boxer like Shakur Stevenson. Atlas says, my concern is the same as it was for Pacquiao Mayweather in a different way. Is this an oasis or is it a mirage? And it could very well. It's how can you not be excited? He comes forward, he's tough, he gets to you, he imposes his will and his physicality on you. In addition, Atlas suggests that Zepeda needs to add more elements to his game, such as feints and unpredictable movements, to avoid walking into Stevenson's counters. He advises against a straightforward approach.
That a guy like Zepeda, although, you know, on paper and although in the videos that we've seen, you know, and the level of guys that he's been beating, not top level, let's be honest here, but with the level of guys he's been beating, you know, you get excited. I mean, again, Yeah, how can you not be excited?
Teddy Atlas explains that for William Zepeda to succeed against Shakur Stevenson, he needs to employ a more strategic approach rather than just relying on straightforward aggression. Atlas emphasizes the importance of using feints to create openings and to avoid becoming predictable. If Zepeda simply charges forward without any strategy, Stevenson will be able to counterpunch him easily throughout the fight. Atlas advises Zepeda to utilize his jab effectively, targeting Stevenson's chest. By doing this, Zepeda can stabilize Stevenson and disrupt his rhythm, making it harder for Stevenson to pick him apart with counterpunches. The jab will serve as a tool to keep Stevenson off balance and prevent him from setting up his own attacks. Furthermore, Atlas stresses the need for Zepeda to adopt smart aggression. This means that Zepeda should not only be aggressive, but also mix in various tactics like feints and jabs to make his approach less predictable. By doing so, Zepeda can create more opportunities to land his punches while reducing the chances of walking into Stevenson's counters. Similarly, boxing promoter Eddie Hearn believes that if Zepeda wants to fight Stevenson, the promoter should strive to make it happen, and he suggests that Oscar De La Hoya would likely want to make a big fight.
Since that fight, or about a month, what's changed? What's going to allow Zepeda to now fight Shakur?
Or maybe he wants to. Maybe he wants the money. And at that point, you have to say to your promoter, I want that fight, I want that money. With all due respect, whatever you don't like, this is what I want. The fighter is the boss. And fighters need to understand that. You tell your promoter what you want. Now, if they can...
Eddie Hearn addresses the situation where Oscar De La Hoya, through his Clapback Thursday series, expressed a lack of interest in facilitating a fight between Shakur Stevenson and Eddie Zepeda. Hearn highlights that despite De La Hoya's apparent disinterest, Zepeda himself is keen on pursuing this fight. Hearn finds it confusing that De La Hoya would not want to make the fight happen if Zepeda is interested, especially considering the substantial financial rewards and the opportunity for title shot that the fight represents. Moreover, Hearn criticizes the idea of a promoter refusing to promote a fight based on personal reasons or disinterest. He argues that it is disrespectful to the fighter to let personal preferences interfere with their career opportunities. Instead, Hearn believes that the promoter's role should be to listen to the fighter's desires and work to make those desires a reality. Promoters should focus on achieving what the fighter wants, whether it's a significant fight, a title shot, or a large payday, rather than making random decisions that could stop the fighter's career advancement. Furthermore, William Zepeda's manager Jaime Picos believes William Zepeda has the tools to make the fight against Stevenson a long and challenging one, though he's not sure if Zepeda will win.
What Loma, and then wherever else steps up to the plate. Whether it's Shakur, we love to fight against.
Moreover, Jaime Picos talks about how Zepeda's recent win over Maxie Hughes shows he could be a tough opponent. He also mentions that Zepeda's team is aiming to unify boxing titles, which means winning and holding multiple belts. Winning against Lomachenko could make it easier for Zepeda's team to negotiate better fights with top fighters like Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis, because having a belt gives them more leverage. Jaime believes Zepeda has a good chance of beating Lomachenko, and such a win would help secure fights with big names. He also discusses Shakur Stevenson's comments about wanting to fight Zepeda, noting that Stevenson needs more experience before facing top fighters. Jaime thinks Zepeda is still developing, but is effective due to his constant pressure and ability to frustrate opponents, even if he doesn't have a powerful punch. He mentions that Zepeda's relentless style makes it hard for opponents to think and adjust during a fight. Boxing commentator Jim Lampley claims that Shakur Stevenson is choosing to prioritize winning over entertaining, leading to less exciting fights but ensuring his victories.
How much am I going to stick to the mantra that my trainer has taught me, the approach that my intelligent understanding of boxing has given to me and taught to me, and accept the fact that maybe somewhere I'm going to hear boos in the background or disapproval from some fans or get ripped for it on the web when I leave the ring. Shakur Stevenson is choosing to win. And so far, in choosing to win, he's getting less entertaining.
Jim Lampley discusses Shakur Stevenson's approach to his fights. He points out that this strategy has led to some criticism from fans who find his fights less exciting. Lampley brings up a potential fight with Tank Davis, emphasizing the challenge Stevenson would face in avoiding Davis's powerful left hand. He questions whether Stevenson can maintain his defensive strategy and still succeed against such a formidable opponent. Lampley further explains that fans are eager to see more aggressive and thrilling performances. He highlights the tension between fighting smart and entertaining the audience, noting that fans are generally not interested in a fighter who avoids risks to secure a win. He says, "Nobody wants to see Shakur Stevenson go in and play chess with a tabby cat. They want to see him fight." Lampley suggests that while Stevenson's approach of prioritizing victory is valid, fans want to see fighters take risks and engage in more dramatic battles, which they feel are missing from Stevenson's recent performances. In an interview, former footballer wrestler LaShawn McCoy Shady is asked if Shakur Stevenson's fight was boring and his thoughts on the feud with Cameron and May.
And I'll let you go. Shady, first of all, do you think Shakur's fight was boring? And what do you think about the back and forth with him and Cam and Mace?
Shady starts by addressing the criticism of Shakur Stevenson's fighting style, suggesting that it's unfair. He explains that while Shakur's style might seem boring to some, his skill at hitting opponents while avoiding getting hit is impressive. Shady acknowledges that Shakur's talent is significant and that he's been successful across different weight classes, which makes him a top fighter. He then shifts to comparing Shakur with Tank Davis. Initially, Shady thought Shakur could beat Tank, but he's changed his view as Tank has shown significant improvement in his skills and adaptability over time. Shady notes that Tank is now better at handling different situations in the ring. Shady describes a potential fight between Shakur and Tank as a 50-50 match because both fighters have their own special strengths. Tank has powerful punches and good control, while Shakur is known for his defensive skills and quick reflexes. Shady believes that choosing a winner would be tough and might come down to personal preference rather than an objective assessment of their boxing skills. In a casual conversation, former professional boxer Zab Judah was asked about the criticism Shakur Stevenson's style is receiving. Judah responded that the criticism doesn't matter much, comparing Stevenson to Pernell Whitaker, who was also criticized for being boring despite his excellent technique.
To me, that doesn't really, mean anything big. I grew up with Pernell Whitaker. I remember Pernell Whitaker winning fights, and they booing him. They booed him, say he was boring, he didn't do enough, but he did everything right. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson right now, I feel like he does everything right. So sometimes when he does everything right.
Moreover, Judah elaborates that while Shakur Stevenson's style might not be as thrilling for fans who expect constant action and dramatic knockouts, his approach is actually a testament to his skill and understanding of boxing. Stevenson emphasizes defense, technique, and strategy, which can sometimes be seen as less exciting to casual viewers. However, for those who truly understand boxing, this approach is highly respected. They recognize that being able to box effectively without relying on flashy moves or knockout power is a sign of a strong, well-rounded fighter. Shakur discusses the potential fight with Gervonta Davis and confirms that although there have been talks, no formal offer has been made yet. He is confident the fight will happen, as both fighters are top talents in their division. Addressing criticisms of Shakur Stevenson's style, boxing promoter Jay Prince defends Stevenson, stating that understanding the art and science of boxing reveals the skill in his style, which involves hitting without being hit. Criticism often comes from those who don't grasp the depth of boxing.
What's your thoughts on the boxing public saying that Shakur is boring and that his style is not the most sellable style? What are your thoughts on that?
My comment on that is a lot of people don't understand the art and science of boxing. You know what I mean? Those who really know what boxing is about would compliment Shakur on his style and not being able to be hit and not get hit. You know what I mean? That's a sweet science of boxing, but those...
Jay Prince responds to the question about whether Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis might fight each other. He said that there haven't been any serious or official offers from Tank Davis's team to make the fight happen yet. He acknowledges that people are excited about the potential matchup, but for now, there's nothing concrete in place. Despite this, Jay Prince remains hopeful that the fight could still be arranged in the future and is looking forward to when that might happen. What are your thoughts on this intriguing situation? Should Shakur Stevenson take on William Zepeda, who's known for his relentless aggression, or should he step into the ring with Gervonta Tank Davis, a formidable puncher with a strong reputation? We'd love to hear your opinions. Drop them in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and check out our other videos.